Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here today with a tag video, which is the 2016 New Year's book resolutions tag video. I was thinking about doing a video like this, so I looked it up to see if there was one that someone had already made, and it turned out that there was. I will link the original video down below, and let's get right into the questions. So the idea was she took the top 10 most common New Year's resolutions and then changed them a little bit to fit with reading and books for the upcoming year. So the first question is losing weight, which is books that you would like to toss off your shelf this year. To answer this question, I'm gonna have to take the camera off the tripod. Okay, so these are the books that I am currently planning on getting rid of within the next week or so. These are all full of different things. A lot of these I still like or, read once and enjoyed, but I just don't think I'm ever gonna read again. And some of them I just know that I will never read again, like all of the manga that I just am not interested in. And some of it, like these, I think they might be good, these Day Watch, Night Watch books, but I'm just never gonna get around to reading them. They were translated from Russian and just probably not my thing. So all of those were books that I've had on my shelf for quite a while. I either have already read them and know I'm never gonna reread them, or I just don't have enough interest in them for it to ever be worth reading them. And honestly, I'm sure there's a lot more on my shelves. One of these days I'm gonna do a full book tour because these two shelves are not actually my entire collection, and you guys can see how bad the problem is. But those are the ones that I've put aside for now as ones that I am able to get rid of. The next question is for the category of learn something new, so it's read a book in a genre that you don't normally read. So I am doing the 2016 Pop Sugar Reading Challenge like I did last year, and one of the categories is read a self-help book, and I don't read self-help books. I don't know that I've ever read a self-help book, but I was in the store the other day and I saw this book, which is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. The subtitle is The Japanese Art of Decluttering and Organizing. And I had heard about this through the internet. Various people were saying that it really worked and that it was a really good system. And I have always had a clutter problem in my living spaces, so I figured it would be worth trying. And so this is what I'm planning on doing for self-help. The next one is getting out of debt. So give a shout out to your favorite used bookstore. My all-time favorite bookstore is gonna be Powell's in Portland. I've been there a couple times. The last time I was there was about 9 years ago, unfortunately. I haven't been able to travel a whole lot recently, but I absolutely love Powell's. It's pretty famous, so probably you've already heard of it, but it is a bookstore in Portland that is a small chain that's only in Portland, and the main flagship store is an entire city block. Portland has somewhat small city blocks, but it's still an entire city block and about 4 or 5 different floors. It is an amazing bookstore. I could spend days on end in it. I just absolutely love it. So the next category is quit smoking. The way that this is interpreted is pick a book or series that's not that great, but you just can't seem to stop reading. I was gonna count the Lunar Chronicles for this one, except I've already finished all 4 of the Lunar Chronicles and I'm not gonna be reading the prequel book. But it turns out that Marissa Meyer has a new series coming out this year, which is Heartless, which is about Alice in Wonderland's Queen of Hearts. And her whole fairy tale revamped thing is not the best I've ever read, but for some reason I just can't seem to stop reading them. They're just fun enough that I keep reading them even though I know objectively they're not that good. The 5th category is eliminating stress, so a book or series that helps you calm down. I feel like this is sort of meant to be a series that you reread a lot, and I have sort of stopped rereading things in the recent years, although I am going to try to reread some things this year. But there are some series that, because I just know that they're going to be good, I end up relaxing when I'm reading them, even though I do get, really emotionally invested and sometimes end up feeling a little tormented. The Rivers of London series I always really enjoy and do find kind of relaxing because I find it really fun and interesting, and I'm not super stressed out when I'm reading it. For books that are rereads, obviously the Tamora Pierce books. I have the entire Tortall series back here, which is one of my favorite series ever. I have reread it multiple times and will probably be rereading it soon. And also, of course, there is the Raven Boys series, which is finishing up this year with The Raven King, and obviously I'm super interested in that, and I sort of count that as calming down because I just relax because I know that I'm gonna like it. So the 6th category is traveling, so a book that takes place in another place place or another time period. Which is, I'm gonna be honest, most of what I read. So this was kind of difficult in the sense of I didn't know how to narrow it down. I've been reading the Harry Potter series recently, which obviously takes place in a different place. I do not live in magical Scotland. I also am planning on reading The Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho, which is set in England in the 1800s. It's apparently for fans of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which I didn't like Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but this is supposed to not have the same kinds of problems that I had with Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. So this is one that I am hopefully going to be reading this month or the next one, pretty soon. The next category is spending time with family and friends, so books that have been recommended to you. There's actually a sort of funny situation in that I told my friend about 2 books and I told her that I was really excited about getting to read them and she might be interested in them too. She then went out and read them before me. I still haven't read them, and now she is recommending them to me. Those 2 books are Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows, which I have owned for a little while but just haven't had a chance to read yet, and like I mentioned in the last category, Sorcerer to the Crown. She has also been recommending me The Goblin Empire by Katherine Addison. This author wrote another series that we both really liked, and so I have definitely been meaning to read this. It is a standalone, and since I think this is her copy, I think she bought it and then lent it to me, I will hopefully be reading this again very soon. And then finally for this category, I have one more. This was recommended to me by a totally different friend, which is The Traitor Baru Cormorant. This is about the sort of civil servant whose home was taken over by an empire and she is working in the empire, but she's trying to like undermine it from within, but she's considered a traitor to her own people because they don't know about this mission that she has. They just know that she went to work for the empire that took over her homeland. So the next category is Drinking Less, which is interpreted as a book or series that impairs your judgment, also known as All the Feels. So basically anything by Sarah Rees Brennan is the answer to this. She's coming out with Tell the Wind and Fire this year, which is going to be coming out in April. I am extremely excited about it. It is a standalone, so I don't know exactly what the series is going to be about, but I know, because it's a Sarah Rees Brennan novel, that it's going to be slightly emotionally devastating, because that's what all of her novels are. The last novel that I read by her, Untold, which was the final in the Lindburn Legacy trilogy, is one of the few books that I've read recently that has actually like made me cry actual tears, which is Unspoken, and then Untold, and then, sorry, Unmade is the third one. And it is a sort of like Nancy Drew with magic detective kind of story. It's so good, but I had so many feelings about it, and I'm really excited to read another novel by her. She didn't actually release any books in 2015, so I am really excited that she's coming out with a new book in 2016, but I am prepared for the fact that I might cry. The other book that I think fits this category that I know I will be reading this year is Through the Dark by Alexandra Bracken, because this is a Darkest Minds collection, and I've already read the first one. I read it on ebook form when I was just like traveling on a bus. I was there for hours, and so I just sat there and read it, and by the end I finished it and I was like, wait, I can't cry because I'm in a public place, I'm on a bus. So I had to just like hold all the emotions in, but it was really hard because she's really good at making you feel things. The ninth category is exercising, so what are your reading challenges this year? I have a few, basically the same ones I did last year. I'm going to be doing the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge, and then I'm also going to be doing the Booktubeathon in July or August or whenever they decide the dates for that are going to be, and then the Holiday Booktubeathon in December. I was thinking about doing the Book Riot Read Harder one, but that's another like 16 or 20 or so books, and that just seems like too much. I have been really scattered this month so far, actually, because I finished the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge at the very end of December, and so as soon as I got to January, I was like, wait, I can read whatever I want. And then I instantly stopped being able to read anything because I was like overwhelmed by choice. So I think I need to be a little less strict on some of my reading choices and give myself a little bit more freedom so that I'm able to read more things that I'm really excited about as opposed to just doing things for challenges. But I do really like the challenge idea because then it means that I read things that I otherwise probably wouldn't have read. The final category for this challenge is volunteering, which you're supposed to tag some people. I don't really like tagging people, so I'm just not gonna do that, but if you're watching this video and you liked it and want to do one of your own, like, by all means, please go ahead and tell me down in the comments, leave me a link, because I would love to see it. But that is gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment if any of the books that I mentioned struck your fancy, and I will see you guys very soon with another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!